Roman Abramovich announced his plans to sell Chelsea Football Club. In a statement on the Chelsea website, the Russian oligarch said he had made the incredibly difficult decision which pains him. Within the statement, he also said that he would not ask for any loans to be repaid and said the net profit of the sale would be donated to all victims of the war in Ukraine following Russia's invasion. Chelsea's loans top around £1.5 billion and the club said to be on sale for between £2 and £3 billion. So there's not many people rich enough in the world to write off that amount of cash. It wasn't always easy for Abramovich, and before becoming one of the world's wealthiest people, he went through some difficult times. Most notably, his Swiss trading firm, Runicom, declared bankruptcy in 2003, and he was reportedly forced to repay a loan to the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. As a result of his political and business connections, he was able to weather the storm. And when the Soviet Union's industrial assets were divided, Abramovich was well on his way to making his first billion. Even though it was difficult to accumulate wealth in the Soviet Union, Abramovich made a good living in his early career by selling rubber ducks from his Moscow apartment. Despite the fact that this venture was a success for the Russian, he desired more. So, after marrying Olga, his first wife, Abramovich invested the 2,000 rubles his parents-in-law had given them as a wedding gift in a very special way, namely by expanding his stock to include prohibited items such as perfumes and deodorant. Illegal, yes. Profitable, absolutely. Following his resounding success with contraband, he was then able to venture into manufacturing plastic toys, automotive parts, and other businesses that ranged from pig farms and bodyguard recruitment. However, it was during the peak of the perestroika reforms that Abramovich began to shape himself into the magnate that he is today. Abramovich was finally able to make his businesses legal, which resulted in booming profits, thanks to Soviet Premier Mikhail Gorbachev loosening the shackles of privatization in the Union. That didn't stop him from breaking the law, and in the early 1990s he was arrested for stealing government property, having used false documents to steal a train carrying 55 tankers of diesel. Despite this, the charges were quickly dropped, and just 3 years later, after becoming Boris Berezovsky's right-hand man, his fortunes changed. Not only did Berezovsky run a nationwide car dealership and the state car manufacturer Lada at the time, but he was also a key member of President Boris Yeltsin's inner circle, and through him, Abramovich gained access to one of his country's most powerful individuals. A necessity if you wanted to make a profit in post-Soviet Russia. Abramovich had moved into an apartment inside the Kremlin within a year of meeting. As a result, he quickly rose to prominence in high society. And it was during the brutal dismantling of the Soviet Union's industrial assets that he made his first billions, most notably through his purchase of the large oil company Sibneft. Because of Russia's contentious loans for shares program and the fact that President Yeltsin privatized Sibneft, Berezovsky and Abramovich were able to buy out the company for only $100 million. Despite its market value of $600 million, this laid the groundwork for Abramovich's vast wealth. And when he first sold his Sibneft stakes 14 years ago, he made an estimated £1.8 billion. Since amassing his fortune in the early 1990s, the sandy-haired billionaire has dabbled in politics. He was elected governor of the Far Eastern Chukotka region in 2000 after receiving 92% of the vote. Philanthropy: he spent £180 million on schools, new housing, and infrastructure in Chukotka. Real estate: the Russian has spent $96 million on 4 properties in New York, and, most famously, football. So, while many may regard him with suspicion, it is undeniable that his story is one of a kind, having emerged from a society where profit was forbidden and rising to become one of the world's most affluent and successful individuals. And, with a Premier League club under his ownership, a spot on the Sunday Times rich list, and a net worth of more than £5.8 billion, it's safe to say Abramovich has done well for someone whose parents didn't leave him a single ruble. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell next to our channel name to get notifications for all future uploads. Let's get your wealth done, and have a nice day.